How does it start? Welcome to Bogside Chats, where we're talking everything DeFi Kingdoms and keeping it casual. My name is Matty Pesk. Tonight I am joined by Franz with Hat.
That's me.
Welcome, bud. How we doing?
Doing good. I want to get ahead of this before anyone makes the comment. I know this isn't the right hat. It's the only beanie I had, so we're just going to roll with it. But Franz with hat.
Very good, very good. And tonight, Guy Kid might make an appearance. Unclear on that, probably not though. But we are very excited to have a special guest on. Wowee, bud, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Hey yo, what's going on, boys? It's good to be back.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love having you on. We have a lot to talk about tonight. There was tons of updates last week. Last week was one of the biggest DFK weeks in a long time. I think I can safely say that.
I think it's the biggest one since they released the traits sheet.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, yeah, they released Mad Boars. That was pretty huge. When Pets went live, those were some other big dates. But this one might be even bigger than that because there's like multiple things that happened. The biggest thing we're going to be talking about tonight is the Rock Box, the Bad Mother Clucker, Void Hunt went live. We're going to be discussing our strategies, how it's going, everything there. We're going to talk about the new equipment, the new mechanics that came out with it. They had that huge announcement in Denver for Metis. Is that how we're pronouncing it?
Yeah. Can we talk about how you just pronounced Denver?
Denver. Whatever.
Right. But yeah, I'm going with Metis.
Metis.
Definitely not Metis.
Definitely not Metis. Yeah, Metis.
Yeah.
Then at the very end, everyone needs to stay tuned. Wowee has a special announcement that he brought to the Bogside. I'm very excited to talk about.
Announcement?
So you'll have to wait till the very end for that, though. So stay tuned in. But let's kick it off right off the bat. Rockbox. Have you guys got a chance to play? There's double loot drops this first week. It's very exciting. What are your kind of initial thoughts on the release here and kind of first week playing it?
We'll let the guest go first. Wow, we lead us off.
I think that they weren't kidding when they said they wanted to make this 10 times more difficult.
I agree.
Like, there's a lot more strategy. There's a lot more timing. And because it adds on both ends there, it means that you are subject to a lot of RNG. So, I mean, I think they did what they were looking for pretty dang well. I love that there's 2 phases of this fight.
You can't claim victory over that. That's so big.
Team Bird, man. Bird up. What's up? But yeah, no, I think this is an absolute slam dunk. It's interesting. I mean, geez, for days it had people going like, wait, what the hell? What's the trigger for this? What's going on here? Like, it's been a legitimate blast. It's just so good. And honestly, it's still challenging for me. I'm trying to come up with a way for potatoes to be able to consistently conquer this goal. And I gotta say, dexterity is so important.
Yeah.
Yep.
The misses will just absolutely kill you. Mm-hmm. So you got to come prepared.
Friends?
Yeah, no, agreed with all that. It's exciting. It's definitely harder. I'll say trickier, not harder. I think that's a distinction.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's definitely harder, but there's a very small window.
Right.
And once you kind of trigger the solution to the puzzle, you have to go. It's very...
Well, I think that's going back to what he said. Like, if you miss in that one turn window, you're fucked.
There's no redemption. You can kind of set up your solution to the puzzle a few times, but once you kind of go in there and all right, this is it. That's it. No, it's great. The time bar is awesome. I like how the puzzle and the solution both deal with speed and the punishment too. Right. Also deals with speed. So it's it's cool around the time bar and all that. Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, I've been liking it. I think it is. I think trickier is a better way to say it because it is this narrow. At least I know maybe
it's definitely more harder too though. They hit harder.
Maybe as we play it more and more, there's going to be other strategies that come about. But right now, for me, it's this narrow window of you have to kill at least one of the babies at the same time as the mama, and the other one, if you can kill all three simultaneously, like in the same turn, that's like ideal, but it's very difficult to kind of pull that off because of the different moves that they have. But if there's any difference in terms of like the two babies are alive when you kill the mama or et cetera, like once those two void chickens are activated, you are done. I think, I don't know. I'm sure people have been able to pull it off, but like if it's two full health void chickens, I don't know how you win because their moves are just like insane.
Yeah, with one you have a chance, and I've beaten a few where it's you don't solve the puzzle perfectly, and you have one you have to deal with. That's doable.
If you have three heroes with decent health and versus one void chicken, I think most of the time you can pull that off. But two void chickens, you're done. So it's very difficult. I wanted to go through like the classes. So obviously we only have 4 classes. So they made adjustments too. I don't know. Wow, did you see like the nerfs and the buffs that they put in?
Since it came out, or were you talking about the classes?
Same time as the release. Like they did a certain. They kind of nerfed Archer, and they kind of, I think Knight had like one move nerfed. I think
the Knight's defensive capabilities were nerfed, and the Priest's like across the board healing capabilities were nerfed.
Yeah.
So they really didn't want you going in there thinking like, well, I could just stabilize as much as possible with defense and healing. That is no longer the case.
Yeah. No, certainly not. I think what I'll say here, taking into account those nerfs and those buffs, Archer is still king. I don't think that's a surprise for anyone who's played this game. Like they're the only. I mean, they got nerfed a little bit on a couple moves, but like they're still king. Like damage dealing is still the most important thing to beat these chickens, and the Archer is the best at that. I think head and shoulders. I mean, Warrior got a little buff, got a little bit better on a few things. Whirlwind got a nice little kind of chance to be incredible. But I still think, like, I don't know how you're beating this without archers, or at least one archer. I don't know how, because you need to be able to deal burst damage, and the archer is the only one who could do it really right now.
Yeah, agreed. I still think Archer is indispensable as far as your team comp goes. You can get it done with 2 warriors. You can do some other things, but I don't know. To me, it's just the idea of not being able to get to the back row on command with the warrior and with the knight. And yeah, they have certain moves. I don't think the knight even does.
No, I mean, he has the taunt.
But when you have such a tight window, you have to be able to do it on command. And if you don't have an archer handy, it's tough.
No,
I've come up with a couple theories so far, but they really do, like, archers are extremely important. The knight's really good for like utility. It's just a little, like, my most successful theory so far has been have a knight with 2 archers. I mean, that's just what I've been going for. The knight actually uses the
that's
push
my favorite
move
comp right now,
to move the mama bach into the middle, and then you just destroy the mama bach in the front little bach, and then hopefully that just works out with cheap.
I've been doing priest archer. Because I like having the freedom move that does the purify. So when those and we'll talk about these different mechanics that are happening when the blind hits and when the confuse hits, having the priest there like is just so much nicer in my opinion. I think Knight took a real hit here on this one because the chickens can hit anybody at any time with their like pecs. So like having a meat shield up front is not necessary anymore. So I think Knight, and then also they can't deal damage as well.
Do you think that the damage is equally kind of distributed? Because I'm still finding that the front line gets hit more often. I don't know, maybe I'm making that up in my head.
I mean, potentially. I don't know if we'd have to look at kind of like how the AI is programmed. Because I think it's just random when they peck, right? I don't know. Is there a specific thing they're targeting when they do those peck moves? I don't know.
I believe, and this is usually the case, like it'll have a range of 3, but the AI is, in these kinds of games, the AI is like, okay, there's a 50% chance to hit the front unit, and then a 50% chance to hit either of the back units. So it prioritizes the front, but the other two are still well within the mix.
And Rubetto
saying, I didn't know that.
Frontline Mamabak can only range one, the Peck. So maybe that's what I'm kind of feeling.
Right.
When I'm saying it's getting hit more often. Yeah, I've been using Knights. I had very set comps with the boar hunt. I didn't have any kind of variety. And it was obviously the taunt I was picking every time for the Knight. Putting Mighty Strike in, Mighty Strike's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really like having it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess and also too, how I build my Knights, I'm typically not prioritizing strength. I'm prioritizing vitality or endurance. So a lot of my high level Knights don't hit that hard in general. And I don't think that's a bad strategy. It's just kind of like my personal preference. So I'm hesitant to use them in the Rockbach fights because they just can't hit as hard. And I don't know. I feel like it's a waste of that role, a waste of that spot, when it's what there's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need better Knights. Maybe that's the answer there.
So I don't know. So I've been very anti-warrior since they were released. I feel like if I'm gonna have a front row that kind of doesn't have that variety in who he can hit, I just want more HP. Because even if it's not getting hit that much more than it did in backline, it's more HP to play with. It's less times that I'm gonna have to look at healing and stuff like that. So to me, that's the difference between Knight over Warrior. But again, I'm not a Warrior player, and I know Wowee, I know you're a Warrior fan.
I'm a big Warrior maxi.
Yeah,
big Warrior maxi. And honestly, the buffs I think are really good that the Warrior received. I don't think they're necessarily enough. But I mean, I think kind of across the board, and I know this is going to be a bit of a hot take, especially coming from me.
Tune in. Here we go.
Hot takes.
I think that the feel of impact from spending mana isn't anywhere near enough as it should be. Because, I mean, for the cost of I only get to do this a set amount of times before all I can do is basic attack. I mean, the basic attack is almost like 70% of what is going to take place anyway, especially from the Warrior side.
That's fair.
But, I mean, I think Warriors are in a great spot, or much better spot right now anyway. And I think the combination of Warrior Knight is extremely, extremely good, specifically because of intimidation and defense reduction. So it helps that it helps that burn go even faster.
But that's only successful if you have an archer or somebody who's going to deal damage,
and if you've got enough decks to hit it.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I saw SI posted one where he did it. I think it was an archer and 2 warriors, it was an impressive build. I don't know how you win this without archer. At least one, in my opinion.
Legitimately, the only way I could even conceive of this is like the weirdest comp I could think of is 3 knights, and they're doing the entire time is spamming Mighty Strike. That is literally,
and they're just so beefy that they survive everything.
Right. Yeah, because
you have to get lucky with the cheaps in that scenario. Like if they don't turn the cheap on at the right time, you're going to be in trouble towards the end.
True. I mean, you're not wrong about that, but I mean, even then, like you can use the night move to push one back. Yeah. Then you can always have one out of the cycle, and then I mean, a 35% HP potion is more valuable than any heal that the priest can offer at that point because everyone's got so much HP.
Yeah, speaking of the priest, we got a question earlier that I didn't want to break in with.
Let's hear it.
What do we think about Purify versus Cleanse?
I like the Purify, or I do the Purify, because I love the cheap heal, like the basic heal. I think is more valuable than the Cleanse at that tier 1. So I always sacrifice that and go for the freedom, the third tier move.
Yeah, and just
also
to pull up.
There's a chance you're going to get confused and blind at the same time, or slow and blind at the same time, and the freedom covers everything. So it's really key for me, I think, to do the freedom over the just the Cleanse.
What's the mana efficiency going on here?
Well, so then that's what I was going to bring up. So this is a level. So did you guys know the amount of scales? Because I found that out recently.
Yeah, they
I
said
wasn't
that
aware
early
of
on. Yeah.
So I just missed that. But so I've seen these be equal. All right, so they're always equal. So it's 20 for the first tier, and then it hops up to 34 for freedom.
All right, so it costs 1.5 times more for the Purify, which, I mean, if you're removing more than one buff, it's value, especially because you're getting a heal on top of it. But I mean, I'm trying to think of a scenario where you're looking at like one debuff is like the bane of your entire existence and you don't have to worry about much else, because that's the only time I could see like this particular cleanse on the priest being more valuable than Prayer of Healing. Prayer of Healing is just so good for a level 1 that like you almost can't not pick it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say is the difference is not between these two moves for me. It's the lack of Prayer of Healing if I take the tier 1 cleanse.
Also, something that's very interesting on the freedom is the 2 rounds of Unstoppable.
Also incredible.
Which is key, especially for channeling archers. I really like that. So like the blind and the confused can't touch them while they're channeling.
Yeah, I don't use that enough. I use this as purely a purify move. I have to start kind of wrapping the unstoppable into my strategy a little more.
I mean, I would never do it just for the unstoppable, but I think it's like a really nice added bonus.
Well, at the right time, you know.
Right. And also too, like the fact that the priest, I didn't really think about this prior to like actually being in battle, is like all these moves still have a heal on them, which is so incredible in my opinion. Of like, yeah, they have these like versatile utility moves and stuff like that, but they still have a base heal that's on them, which I think just makes priest like, you know, one of the best classes right now.
Yeah, I don't want to say I've been struggling without a priest, because like I think my best comp is warrior or a knight, 2 archers. But I've run into a few scenarios where, you know, I've triggered kind of the end game puzzle, and then the remaining little chicken uses cheap and confuses my archer.
Right.
And it's like now I'm in a bind, right? Because there's no way for me to get confused off. If it's a 3-turn confuse, I'm kind of left to the RNG gods, to RNG Jesus to see me through to the end of the battle.
Yeah. Confuse is one of the most interesting mechanics I think that's added to this, because there is no potion for it, and it's not. I don't think it's like game ending, because it is just the 1 to 3 turns. I think that kind of makes it manageable, but like it really can fuck your strategy up pretty quickly.
Yeah. So just to add, unstoppable, it means that you can keep me honest on this. You can't get a negative status effect applied to you for those 2 turns.
Correct.
Yeah. Although are days and exhaust part of that?
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Well, I think days is, but exhaust is not. Like the slow from exhaust might be, but exhaust isn't a condition. The slow is part of the exhaust.
Right. Yeah. So for the most part, it's a status effect.
Well, wait a minute. We could test that really quickly and give a warrior unstoppable and use his "you become exhausted" move and see if that actually affects it. That's a great combo if that pans out that way.
Do it in the blood.
What's his exhausted move? Because I thought it was whirlwind and they took it away.
Oh, they took it away. Yeah, I don't know then.
No more exhausted on this.
I mean, you have to do it with an archer then and just time it right.
An archer with the rapid shot.
Yeah.
That's worth looking into.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if unstoppable stops.
I kind of have a feeling that it's like enemy applied negative status effect.
Fair. Like when you do it supersedes the unstoppable.
Yeah,
but I mean, but what if?
Yeah, no, I thought I had a little alpha nugget as far as how to play confuse.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
My thought process was, if I can't cleanse it, right? Say I don't have a priest,
right?
I'm gonna pass turns, get the initiative back, and get it off as quick as possible. Confuse also affects pass turn. I was very unhappy to find that out.
I believe it also affects use a potion.
Yes, it does.
which sucks.
Yeah,
like,
but that strategy, I am employing that for fear right now, because you can pass turn
Right.
with fear and like.
all right. Well, yeah, I was gonna say
It's
we're gonna talk.
archers.
New mechanics was a whole topic I wanted
Oh,
to
well,
discuss.
we rolled into it.
You're throwing off my agenda. You're throwing off my
All
agenda.
The sacred agenda.
Let's
That we always say.
I think we
stay so true
touched
to.
on all the stuff early on here about the classes and stuff like that. I do want to go back very quickly to a point you made, Wowee, and I want to agree with you. I think the warrior buff was nice, but like not a lot. Not like I'm not too impressed right now still with warrior.
I think the most impressive part of the buffs that the warrior received, because they received a lot.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there was a lot that happened for the warrior, and it's all in the right direction. But I think the most impressive one was the additional 10% lifesteal when the target is bleeding, added to bloodthirst.
Really? I was gonna say the additional 10% basic attack was my favorite.
If you're building a bleed comp, this
Yeah.
rolls so hard. Like, so hard, because all you have to do, like, the full build right here is what's one you got in tier 1 right now? Gladiator Strike. Bloodthirst, and Punishment. Like, that's the whole build. Or Punish. There it is.
Punish.
That's the whole build. If you've got 2 warriors, like, literally just piling that on, and there's 5 stacks of bleed all of the time, they're taking 70 plus damage per round that they take, and you're dealing out a ton of damage on top of that, and you're life stealing on every bit of it.
And also too, I mean, if you're using a gore blade, those have the automatic bleed chance. Does that stack?
Yeah, it stacks to 5.
No, but does the bleed chance from a gore blade stack with the gladiator strike?
No. So the way
it's like
that
2 separate
workhorse,
occurrences.
it's 2 it's instances. So
I got you. Yeah.
So gladiator strike has a chance. Your gore blade has a chance. Your whatever has a chance to put a bleed on. They're all separate instances of whatever percent chance, which is still really good.
Yeah. I mean, it changes it very little versus a stack, but like, yeah, that's actually. I haven't looked at that at all. I haven't really looked at lifesteal or bleed build for warrior. Maybe I should.
I haven't done anything besides the basic attack build for the warrior.
I mean, I love the basic attack build for the warrior, and I think with the right stats, high strength, decent dex, it could be. I still think archer is king for damage dealing, but like
it's super mana efficient too.
Right, because I like using the basic attack as part of that rotation. Right. You're not constantly like, I feel like archer, you're constantly doing moves. You're never really doing a basic attack.
Well, they did also buff the archer in that sense. I don't know if you can call it a buff, but all the moves do take less mana now. So
yes, which was huge.
It's helpful.
Yeah.
I actually think that needs to be applied across the board. To be honest, I think it costs way too much money.
The hits don't feel as good versus the mana that they cost. Like
right,
especially because when you factor in the accuracy, I mean, you're getting the most out of your archer hits. It's with the warrior and the knight, you're probably missing at least one a match. Yeah, so less efficient even.
All right, very cool. Let's move on. I want to specifically break down a couple of the new mechanics because I think they're really interesting to talk about. Number one being, I think the most prevalent to the Rockbach fight is blind. Blind is 25%. Your accuracy goes down by 25% and lasts the entire battle unless you have a way to remove it. I think it makes this fight very difficult. And also, I think this now is going to boost blind in general. I mean, obviously, we haven't seen some other ones like poison or a couple other ones that like are yet to come, but like having blind, if your heroes have a blind move, I am super bullish on that. I am very excited about that. Blinding your opponent is going to be super annoying for them. I think it's a basic trait, a basic active trait, blinding wind. Anybody who has that, I'm very excited about it. I think blind is a problem, and like you have to constantly be thinking about it. So at least for this fight, and who knows what the meta is going to be in PvP if blind becomes that popular, but like it's going to be a problem, and it's going to affect how we play, I think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys don't think it's that dramatic, but like I'm super excited about it.
Is blinding wins? Is that 100% to just apply blind?
No, it's an 80% chance if you hit with the move to
Okay.
apply a blind.
Okay.
But we don't know. Is it a basic attack?
It does basic attack damage. So it'll be like a regular physical basic attack that'll go off your basic attack formula.
Right.
And then it's an 80% chance to apply a blind attempt if you hit.
Okay.
Right. So all right. So I guess high dex people, it's amazing. Basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to go through, the hit or miss check, and then you have to go through the resistance check as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, and vice versa too. What's is stalwart is the or clear head,
Clear vision.
Yeah, clear vision. Like vice versa, same thing. I do think blind's going to be relevant. So having those basic traits, I think are hugely boosted. And I'm wondering what their Wowee rating is on the Wowee sheet, which is hint at something we're talking about later. But I think those basic traits now are way more important.
I think that's going to be the next big deal is when traits go live. Like that's going to add the like other half of the experience we're missing out on.
Oh, totally.
And yeah, blind is going to be blind and days are going to be the most staple portions of everybody's kits.
Well, days is an advanced, so it's not. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not denying what you're saying, but like days is an advanced move, and I don't think it's as common.
Well, think about it this way: how many instances of a daze or interrupt are in the live skills right now?
Ton.
Versus how many instances of blind are there?
Yeah, practically zero, right?
Just based off of rarity, daze resistance is going to be huge because it's such a common ability.
Right. Well, I mean, it seems like it is, but also the boars like the days. The boars like the days, so maybe we're biased,
True, but anybody who's going to be serious in PvP, we all know, my favorite evasion tanks.
Right.
We're going to have, like the super defensive walls are going to rely on blind to get past that. And I mean, the effect of a miss is so like devastating when you need it most.
Right.
Like it completely changes the entire course of the game.
Right now, the best way to beat the chickens is to hit this small window where you kind of kill the baby or the mama simultaneously with when you kill the other ones, or she's got the cooldown on the lay eggs. Like you have limited window, and if you don't hit in that limited window and you get 2 void chickens, you're fucked. So I mean, like anything that affects accuracy to mess that up is a big deal.
Yeah. 100%. If everybody's hitting only 3 attacks for every 4 you're doing, you just outpace them in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah, and in PvP, I think blind. I don't know though. Who knows? Meta can shift and stuff like that. Maybe if
you also have a bias towards it because we see it. It's
right.
new. I mean, wait for top to come out and we'll see.
That's going to be insane too. This is one of the reasons I started with this saying, and I will keep going forever and always. Bring a cleanse.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah,
one thing I will say as far as blind goes, Dex, just another reason why Dex is king.
Yeah.
My super Dex archer, it still hits for 71%, I believe.
When it's blinded?
When it's blinded.
Damn.
That's badass.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, how are you guys handling blind? That's why I kind of have to have a priest in there.
Getting it off immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not messing with it.
With potions or with a priest?
I take 2. My loadout that I use is 3 that I use.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is the loadout, this top loadout here. 3 blind, 4 mana, 4 health is what I've used every time. Not a fan of this. I don't know if you want to talk about this later.
There's a whole topic.
I'll be honest. I skimmed the agenda.
That is the entire topic we're going to discuss in a little bit.
Okay. Sorry.
Is that an amendment 4B or 4A?
It's 4B. But all All right, I don't know. I guess you guys don't seem as excited as I am about blind. I think it's a game changer.
Oh, I'm excited.
No, yeah, I'm all over it. Blind's going to be insanely important. It's going to be absolutely crucial to have all the time if you have access to it. I hate that it exists because it's just going to make everything more frustrating for me.
Yeah.
Where would we rank it on the "it would be annoying to happen to me" chart? Because that's how I like to gear my teams to face others.
It's going to be meta.
Yeah, like I want to annoy the shit out of them as much as possible.
Yeah. Blind is going to be meta, like 100%.
No, I agree. I think,
and because I'm saying that, expect nerfs.
I mean, well, right now it's 25%. I think 2 years ago when they first released it, it was 50%.
Yeah, so it was 50%.
Yeah. So they already kind of nerfed a little bit. I think it was too powerful, 50%. And I don't know. We'll see. What is the built-in defense or resistance to it? Is it just status effect resistance, or is there specific blind resistance?
I believe it's just your overall effect resistance, which I think is derived from endurance.
Right. Okay. I mean, that'll be interesting. I think endurance is being slept on, but that's a different topic.
With auto cleanses from Vitality.
I know. Well, no, but that's Vitality, right? Anyways, let's move on because there's a lot I want to talk about. I do want to hit on Confuse. Confuse is very frustrating, but because it's that 1 to 3 turns, I'm not as concerned about Confuse as I am blind. I think Confuse is manageable, and also too, especially when you're in like a bad situation where you have 2 heroes and there's 3 you're going up against. There's better odds that you're going to hit. I'm assuming it's all even odds on that. So there's better odds you're going to hit the opponent, even if it's not the move you want to do. Yes, Confuse sucks, and ideally you want to cleanse it almost immediately. But also because it's 1 to 3 turns, I'm not as worried about Confuse. I think it's fun, and like I don't think it's gonna be a priority for me to have my heroes have anti-confuse or specific moves to confuse. But I think it's a fun mechanic, and we'll see how it plays out, kind of more in the PvP. What are your guys' thoughts on Confuse?
Yeah, I've been very frustrated with it. I feel like, and maybe this is just, how I'm seeing it because I'm the one playing, but I feel like it's 3 turns more often than not.
Right. Yeah, obviously.
Is it even odds as far as 1 turn, 2 turn, 3
I have
turn?
to imagine.
Yeah.
Why would they make it different than
Yeah, I just don't like that there's no potion against it.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you don't have a priest, you have to kind of just deal with it. And that's why I was looking for ways around it with that past turn thing that failed me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
But are you going to change your team builds at all because of it?
What would I change it to? Maybe
more priest more often,
Yeah, I mean, if I need a win, yeah, I mean, I'm always bringing a priest in. My top team right now is the Holy Trinity.
Right. Yeah.
But when you're playing more void hunts, when the goal is to get as many drops as possible, there are going to be plenty of teams that just don't have one. So
I think, and wow, I want you to answer this question, but in general, I think I'm building. I potentially will build something, whether that's the potions I bring, the priest I bring. I'm building a team to make sure that blind is not a problem. And if it happens to cover Confuse, great. But I'm not building a team around fighting Confuse. I don't care that much. Wowee?
I'd be very thankful to have blind applied to me while I'm confused.
Because then you can the cleanse becomes, or the purify becomes even more valuable.
Right.
Or, yeah.
So, well, I mean, the cleanse doesn't just become more valuable, but it's the chance that you get damage dealt to yourself will get negated, because what Confuse is at its core is a control ability, right? It's a 50% chance that you don't get to use your strategy,
right?
And you get punished for it, right? So, I mean, if it's on your priest, it's pretty okay. I mean, you might miss a clutch heal here or there, but I mean, you're going to do 20 damage to your front line, right? That's no big deal. However, if you're on your warrior and your warrior's buffed up and you get confused and you basic attack your DPS, your other supporting DPS, and you like crit for 170, this is a real big fat problem. But like I said, at its core, it's just a control ability, and lasting 3 turns, I would say, is more value than a 1-turn stun.
Yeah. I don't know. Because with stun, there is 0% chance that you can affect the game positively.
Right, but you
at
can't,
all.
but you can also get confused on pass turn and a potion usage.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a 50% chance over 3
Right.
turns that you don't get to do something, which means there are going to be cases where at all 3 turns you don't get to do something. Where stun is just that one.
And it's now affecting your opponent's mentality for those 3 turns. It's changing
Correct.
what they want to do for those 3 turns.
I still though, are you adding things to your teams specifically to avoid or combat confuse?
No.
Thankfully, I've already got my freedom up.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, almost any debuff in this new one is just don't have it. Just don't deal with it. Get your priest with the highest mana pool absolutely possible, and just get ready to spam cleanses.
Yeah, and another thing with freedom, and I don't know if this is enough of a like factor for you to build towards it, but it does put a half a point of VIT in there as far as the formula goes.
For the heal?
Where this road doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That was something I was looking at and thinking.
No, it is.
When
I was saying, go back to like they all heal. They all have a heal with the utility that they do. You know.
Right, but like I do see the difference in the heal when it's on.
Right.
You know that cleansing path. It might just change how I level things up for that 3rd stat point, right? Because I'm gonna do Wiz and I'm gonna do Int no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I usually do Agi after that, but maybe I'll lean more towards Vit.
Yeah, I usually do Vitality.
Ooh, I got a really good.
Something I want to talk about is the swiftness, but go for it, Wowee.
I got a question, and forgive me, it's non-agended, but this is
whoa.
over the. This is over
I sent you the agenda.
Yeah, right. This is over the prayer of healing and cleansing gift. What do you think you would do to change either prayer of healing or cleansing gift to make it a more difficult pick for either?
More healing on the cleansing gift.
Then what would be the point of prayer of healing?
Well, I mean, the question you asked me is insane. I mean, that's what would change it.
Well, I mean,
like, that would make it broken. I agree.
I've got an answer for you.
Go for it.
Oh, all right, hold on. So more healing on cleansing gift or cheaper mana on prayer of healing, or either way.
You can't go cheaper on prayer of healing.
I know, but I'm saying like those things. If cleansing gift was cheaper, that would change my opinion. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that.
I think also this, and you guys might tell me that this isn't the first time we've seen this, but what they did with Whirlwind and its chance to lose initiative, I don't think we've seen that in other codexes. No. So like maybe you do that with, with these moves where cleansing gift, you boost up the amount of heal a little bit, but it has a chance to lose initiative for you. I don't know.
I like that.
Like basically adding a penalty to cleansing gift, basically. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
What do you got though?
Well, let's hear it.
Okay, so cleansing gift becomes a buff, not necessarily unstoppable, but some sort of a buff. But if there is a status effect to cleanse, it cleanses that status effect and heals instead. So it doesn't give you a heal battery, but it does heal if it cleanses something off of it, but it can give you something in the meantime as well.
So what as would it give you in the meantime? It would give you a like a ward type.
Yeah, let's say it gives you like a small, 5% barrier, something tiny like that, right? But if it like say you got a stack of bleed on you and you cleanse that bleed, it heals you for a big, like probably more than prayer of healing if there was something to cleanse, because you can't heal with it all the time.
Yes, that sounds awesome, but you're giving tier 1 too much power.
Well, I mean, we talked to Workhorse about this. Tier 1 has to have power.
Right, but I think they've done it well with what they have right now. I don't know if cleansing gift needs anything more. I think it should be a hard decision to choose something other than prayer of healing. I really like the way it's set up.
I would almost go the other way, where if you do cleanse something, you don't heal.
Yeah, I kind of like that too.
All
But
right,
maybe
yeah.
that's too much utility.
Well, at that point, it would have to be you heal more if there's not something to cleanse.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
that
it would
could be
kind of
interesting.
also, it would have to still not be as much as blessing, gift of
Or as the
prayer healing. I don't know.
I mean,
Oh, did I
here's the
lose
thing
you
too. That's a good question, and I honestly, I bet that those guys sit around talking about this stuff and have this is the best they can do, based on.
So we said this to Dreamer after we interviewed him, but I would love if they just released like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long, like just put a camera in there with them and heavily edit it so there's nothing they don't want to reveal. But let's just hear Hubert and Wowee and everyone, or Hubert and Workhorse and everybody else just argue over this stuff and discuss this stuff for a while.
I would love that.
I would
That'd be
love
great.
that. Yeah. Also, do you see this appearance in the chat?
Hey. Do you even use taunt in this fight?
Well, all right.
Is that on the agenda?
Well, I will discuss this in Warrior, and just in general. This is something I haven't done, and I kind of want to try it. Is if you taunt the baby chicks, that will stop them from becoming void chickens. Like if they're taunted when on that turn start, it does not trigger the void chicken. So I haven't done that just because I haven't been using warriors that often, but I do find that kind of interesting and maybe a technique I want to use, because again, if they become void chickens, you lose. Basically, that's basically the thesis of the entire thing. But I haven't used taunt really as much in the Bach, bad mother cluckers. I haven't used taunt as much.
Same. You have to be so precise in that end game.
Yep.
That using a move that might work might not work.
Yeah.
I just don't love it. Like you can't bank on not letting him lay an egg because of taunt.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah, I guess on the mama.
Or when are you using taunt?
You're using taunt when you're about to kill the mama, and you have a live baby that you can't kill.
Okay.
So you're about to kill the mama. Yeah. But again, it's so unique, like such a specific situation. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be good to carry it just in case you find yourself in that situation.
Right. And warrior, if it's a warrior that's a damage dealing warrior anyways, it's not that hard to add the taunt move on for him.
That's true. I guess I never used whirlwind, so I would probably leave it on.
Right.
Leave the taunt there. But with the knight, I'm giving up mighty strike, so I want mighty strike.
Yeah.
Why? What do you think?
Yeah. Was that wow? Did you say Wowee or I thought you said why?
What? No, I said Wowee. What do you think? Sorry, I cracked beer number 2. I might start slurring in it here.
Okay, so frame the question for me real quick.
Is taunt worthwhile in the bad mother cluckers?
It has its place for sure. Like obviously there are certain instances where taunt is important, but I think the warrior taunt is better than the knight taunt here because the knight has mighty strike in tier 1, which I think is the best move out there right now. Like in pure DPS, if all you're doing is spamming mighty strike, you're doing more damage than like your mega dex archer, like without a doubt. It is the highest DPS move in the game, especially if you've got 2 knights that are pumping mighty strike and then you have an archer, because that minus 15% defense stacks twice. So you got a 30% decrease in damage, right? Oh wait, chance to reduce target's physical defense by 25%.
Yeah.
So that's a 50% defense decrease. If you've got an archer that's like insanely tuned in and hits a crit, you're looking at almost double damage for that.
Yeah.
No, agreed.
In a PvP setting where we don't have different puzzle mechanics to work around, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Like, that could
I
agree.
Yeah.
Here it might be too good because you have to be careful about like too much damage.
Right. Well, especially because do we even know? Or so we I mean, we didn't even talk about this, but like the threshold for the so basically the mama chicken, if it gets to a certain threshold, the babies become the void chickens.
Shout out Bob Nothing. He's put out some really good content.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to correct you there. It's just crypto.
Sorry, our buddy Just.
Thank
He's
you.
put out some great content, and Emerson in the chat has as well. But I saw on Just Nothing stream that it's 25%, the threshold.
It's 25%. Are you sure?
No, I'm just repeating what I saw in his stream.
Okay, because I thought it was less than that.
Couldn't tell you.
Because most of them have 1,100. Which, if we knew math, where's Sky Kid? We need Sky Kid on for math. If they have 1,100, if they have 1,100 hit points, what's 25%?
It's like 300.
I thought 300 they're fine. I feel like 200 something was when it happened. All right, so it is 25%. Because I like to bring the mama to, obviously that's everyone's strategy. Bring the mama to just ahead of that, and then do the final moves. But 275. All right, there we go. They're talking about it.
This hat's getting itchy.
You can't take it off. You can't take it off.
Hat stays on, but it's getting itchy.
All right, so yeah, chat, Worm and Kaoshin Chan. I don't know how to pronounce that. Are telling us it's 275. That's the health needed, or that's the threshold level for when the void chickens are activated. All right.
Yeah,
Anyways.
so like general strategy, if anyone's like a new listener and was like thinking they might find some alpha here, first step is to go watch someone else's video who breaks down exactly how you do it.
Exactly. Yeah, great advice.
But the goal is to keep the mama boar, the mama chick, above that 25% threshold. Kill one of the babies, so that the mama lays an egg.
Right.
Then kill the other baby, and kill the mama. Simplified and quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna run a few later. Should I? I mean, I can fire one up whenever.
Oh, I don't want you to do that because you stop talking and you just pay attention to that. I don't want that.
Yeah, but you and Wowee can do your thing.
Do we want that? Because we could go a few more hours.
No, 5-hour stream.
I want to talk about. But I don't want to play one out. We'll do a separate video where we like dissect.
I mean, I'm doing one at some point tonight, but
all right, fine.
It's just not yet. It's fine.
I want to touch on a few other mechanics before we talk about the equipment, the new equipment that's dropped. Fear and delay. We don't see them that often because these are moves that the void chickens do specifically. They're the only ones who can do it. Fear is annoying, especially for a priest archer build. If your archers get feared, they can't do any of their moves. If the priest gets feared, he kind of is fine. It's not really a big deal for him because I don't think there's any move that's not a magic move for him. And then it also potentially will move them around a little bit. Although I do like, I mean, in the boar hunts, you move around way more than the rock box. So I kind of like there's not as much movement because that annoys the shit out of me in the boar hunts. It's brutal when they rearrange your team. And then delay, there's only one delay move, and it's actually this wild one that deals damage to everybody. I don't know if you guys have experienced it. It's an interesting move.
Yeah, I'm not far enough along to be able to process when that happens, the delay move. It's things move fast, and I either win on it because the chick did damage to itself, or I end up dying.
No, 100% I agree. And my main note for both these ones, for fear and for delay, is I would want more time with them, either in a PvP setting or in a different PvE, because you really don't see them that often. If you're doing the fight right, you don't see them that often. And the delay one is super interesting because it is a damage to everybody. So you kind of like, as long as your health is up, it usually is a game winner. But that's not going to be how delay is for every move. You know, like that's a very unique kind of thing to this void hunt. So do you guys have any thoughts on fear and delay? It's fun. They're fun. I really like them, and the time bar is very exciting. You like see it on the time bar, but yeah. Any thoughts on those two?
I think delay is one of the most interesting things that's been added to the game yet.
Totally. Yeah.
Just period. End of story. There's going like when we're talking about like the esports moments, and I know I'm using air quotes and nobody can see them.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about esports moments, like it's going to be an extremely intricate delay plays that are going to be like, what the shit just happened? Oh my God. And I believe later play, we're going to see teams that are built on extreme delay setup and then extreme like turtling and then just waiting for the delay to go off. And I think that's
very interesting. I really like it happens in this fight of like, you see it's about to happen. As long as you heal up, you usually win on that move at the end. So I think that'll be an interesting move of put in 1 or 2 delays and then just heal everybody up and like see what happens. Like it's a kind of fun RNG kind of thing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot more of that once we all kind of master the hunt. When it becomes as easy as the boars are now.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. We need more time because the delay and the fear moves do not happen that often, you know.
Yeah, the fear moves fear is brutal. It's
fear is when you have fear when PvP is live. Fear, I think, is similar to blind, is going to be a thing that's cyclical with the meta of the game. Because if fear is popular, the answer is just have more magic classes, you know. And I think there's going to be an ebb and flow to that of like who fear affects and how often people are playing that, you know, in the everyday game.
I think you're going to see a lot more of a mix than you are going to see like
exclusively physical or exclusively magical. Yeah,
right. I think you're going to see like warrior wizards with that like fear resistance setup.
Yeah,
like because everyone's going to go out and go, I want to do the biggest number I possibly can.
Right.
Like that's going to be the initial wave of everything. And then as soon as everyone is sick and tired of, you know, beating the pile of meat as hard as they can, they're going to go, well, I want to take less damage. How do I do that? Or I want to set it up so I don't get immediately gimped by fear or confuse or push or any of these things. And you're going to see you're going to see this huge wave of defensive metas come out.
Well, I mean, I think that's why and sort of, this was something you said early on of like the mixed, I think Bard, Ninja, Shapeshifter, these in-between classes that might be good at some magic things, might be good at physical things. They might find the meta, you know, I don't know if Ninja will have access to magic moves or Shapeshifter will have, you know, stuff like that. But like those in-between classes, I think are going to be super interesting because they'll be able to adapt. You know, if the team on the other side is throwing fear at you, you know, who can adapt better to that than these in-between classes, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Dark Knight is one of the biggest.
And Dark Knight, yeah, great example.
Yeah, that wasn't mentioned.
Or Spellbow, yeah, same thing.
Whenever there's a meta, if the game is built correctly, and I think, you know, I think we all trust Hubert, and we've heard enough from Workhorse talking about gaming to trust him as well.
Oh yeah,
there should always be meta breakers, right? Like it's never going to be like I don't know, Maddie. Going back to our Gods Unchained days again, there were times where there was just nothing to beat the meta. It was frustrating. It was annoying. I like to think they're always going to have they're going to make a puzzle out of PvP almost, if that makes sense.
Totally. Also, side note, Gods Unchained did release a mobile version.
Oh,
which
if anyone wants to buy 2 Demogorgons, I'm willing to sell.
The needle didn't really move on any of the cards, but
all right, let's focus. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, what's the agenda?
Yeah, fair. All right, let's move on. We touched on all the mechanics. I want to hit on some of the new equipment. I don't know if there's much discussion point here, but there is some really cool equipment that was dropped.
I was ready to pull them all up on the screen. I even have a tweet up that shows.
Do it. Yeah. Well, Excalibur is the first one I want to talk about. Excalibur is insane. This is the best weapon in the game. I don't think there's an argument to be made. I mean, I'll listen to them.
What do we got here? So 60 to 165 physical damage, 20 to 75 spell damage, 17% pierce, 5% chance to inflict bleed, 6% chance to inflict.
I mean, the gore blade is just one of those things. You know what I mean? Like compare it to that, like it is. Insane.
Well, this is, you got to remember, this is pants level.
Sure, it's very.
You know, and just to finish that off, increase block chance by 5%.
Insane. This is the strongest weapon in the game, bar none. I mean, Wowee, does anyone want to challenge me on that?
No. You're arguing with a straw man right now. We
I
all
know.
agree.
That's my favorite person to argue against.
we know. I will say, just on a lighter note, it's a lot cooler having a large sword be the rarest weapon than pants.
Fair.
Like, the pants were fun.
It was a fun little thing. Yeah.
Having a badass sword as the thing we're all kind of hoping for, much better.
Yeah. No, this is the best weapon in the game. It's super cool. It is potentially too strong, although there are some downsides. The dex, because there's like 4 different bonuses. There's no negatives. Like, look at Charger Mask. Like, this compared to Charger Mask. Charger Mask has 2 negatives or 1 negative. It's because they're both the same. But like, this has no negatives. You know what I mean? Like, it is insane.
I mean, it's in -8% speed.
Oh, right. All right. That's some of the negatives.
And,
the speed and the dex requirement.
And no shield.
And you can't have, but like, there's not many classes that a warrior is the only one who could do a 2-handed sword or who could do a shield.
Or knight.
Knight cannot do 2-handed swords.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Warrior, Dark Knight. I don't even think Berserker can do 2-handed swords. Can
Paladin?
he? No.
Oh, this is a good time to shout this out.
Yeah, we should get Sir Worm's thing up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Is this gonna pop up? No.
Wowee, thoughts on this being overpowered though?
I think it's really good. I don't think it's overpowered in the sense of it's
compared to
one of the rarest things you can get.
Right.
I think the only other 2-hander that's out right now is there's an axe, isn't there? That
right.
was added to the boar hunt.
Axe was just added. It was a 2-handed axe. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if we're going to compare it to anything, I would compare it to that. But at the same time, you're looking at a blue rarity with a purple rarity, and
yeah, fair.
Like, what makes this unbelievably good isn't just the raw damage.
Nope, that's not right.
It is 100% that 5% chance to slow.
It's 8%. I think it's 8%. Not chance. It's 8% slow.
No. Not the negative to you. The chance, doesn't it have a chance to hit to give you a slow by 30%?
Oh, you mean to your opponents get that?
Yeah, because it's got a 5% chance to bleed your opponent and a 5% chance to slow your opponent.
God damn, it's so good.
It's like ridiculously good. Like, that negative 8% speed is going to, if you prop that in the very beginning, like, who cares if you're getting negative 8%?
Negative 8% speed doesn't matter when you're 17% pierce as a base is ridiculous in my mind.
Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, the best value you can get out of that is run a Daze team, because
right. Just slow
who loves slow the most? Daze. Daze gives you negative 500 initiative, and if you've got a slow on it, that's just a multiplier on that initiative.
Here's the thing. Also, and you know what, Fran said this, and I agree with this. This is a very rare item. It has dropped. I don't think that many have dropped total. I mean, I think we're in single to double digits.
We have 2.
I don't think many have dropped at all, but it is insanely powerful. All right, so show me.
So shout out to Worm.
Yeah. Well, we should have asked him before we were going to show this, but whatever.
This wasn't the guild.
Yeah, this is ADFK guild. Yeah.
We can't even show Wowee this. He's dirty milk.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, Wowee, don't look at this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm closing my eyes.
Yeah. No, all stuff that's in the docs.
This is available. Yeah, this is public available information.
Put together nicely. So I think he said that he was going to be adding armor and stuff, but so just weapons right now.
Right.
So the 2-handed axe
is Berserker and Warrior.
So is 2-handed axe different from 2-handed sword in any way? It is.
Yes, 100%. They're 100% different.
Interesting.
2-handed sword is a little bit further down.
Yeah, 2-handed sword right here. So we got Berserker,
Warrior,
Dark Knight, Paladin.
And Paladin. Oh, I didn't know Paladin could do it. Okay, Paladin can.
Dread. So Paladin can. A little off topic, but the most interesting thing I found here, and maybe you guys will say, yeah, no, duh. Bard. Bow.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
No one else can use a bow, or spell bow, but Yeah, I did find that interesting.
Yeah.
I saw that because you could tell the gore bow, it can be equipped to a bard right now. I knew that ahead of time.
Did you? You tried?
Yeah, I looked at it. I mean,
Okay.
there'd be no reason to do it, in my opinion, but I did see that he was available for it.
And the other thing that was being discussed in our guild chat was Warrior Dagger. Interesting.
I mean, Warrior, look at Warrior total, 7. Warrior is the most versatile equipment
Interesting
class, even ahead of
which makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the melee.
Right.
Yeah. This is fun though.
This is a really cool chart. Yeah. If you want to see this, you have to join ADFK Guild.
Yeah, and denounce Mythic Squad and Jewelers and
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Well, there's one other. Oh, well, let me mention this now while we're here. One of the new equipments was the wand, which right now there is no codex class that can use the wand.
I mean, Emerson kind of said it before, like, so awesome that we have so many strategies with only 4 classes.
It's going to be insane.
I mean, the PvP announcement showed Berserker, Pirate, and Seer. Are they
it's on the top? It's on the agenda. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
All right.
They did it on purpose, too.
Oh, 100%.
That's, yeah.
I honestly, ever since Workhorse said he likes to fuck with me in the codexes, I think all they do is just to fuck with me personally. I think that's what they're doing.
It's all about you.
It is all about me.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Equipment. Let's talk more about equipment.
Yeah.
The Gore Axe is super cool too. I really
so real quick on the wand. So So we have to be getting a magical class. The Seer. Likely the Seer. I'd be surprised if I'd be super pumped if it was the Wizard, but surprised. I think it's the Seer. The other thing that I wanted to pick out on equipment, with the armor, the Feather Duster. Very interesting effects here. Increase recovery chance by 2.5. Increase burn resistance and increase chill resistance. We don't have either of those mechanics yet.
Do you know who can do that?
Who can do it?
The Wizard.
Really?
Got both. Yeah, this is
the only one. Wizard's the only one who can do it.
Now they are messing with us.
Yeah.
Because now I'm not even so sure it's the Seer. Maybe it's the Wizard.
Right. No, wait, back me up with that. Nobody can do burn or chill but the Wizard, right? I don't think anybody has that.
Oh, geez. I know I'm supposed to be that guy.
I mean, yeah, that's why you're here, Wowee.
Let's see here.
No, I'm pretty sure it's. I mean, maybe they'll add it later because like Wizard was one of the later classes to come out.
I checked the super spec sheet, but it's so out of date that
wow,
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, something's got to be done about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. No, but so I sold I'm trying to sell my Feather Duster light armor immediately.
Well, here's the thing. So talking about armor, I think the light armor and maybe the medium armor might be better, but from my mind, I would keep the light and the medium. The heavy, I'm okay selling. Wow, geez, selling because the heavy has a lot of negatives that I think are tough to justify in my mind right now.
Counterpoint, real quick.
Yeah.
So I gotta find a quick counterpoint. Look how sick that looks.
That does look really cool.
That's
right.
Badass.
Oh, the helmet! I haven't seen the helmet in action.
Yeah, so
cool.
You can say what you want.
I know that is very cool.
The effects and what it does, but that was
super cool.
No, the heavy armor. What were you saying? Say it again. I wasn't paying attention.
I think some of the negatives of the heavy armor, I struggle to justify. I think.
So list them out for me real quick.
So, endurance is the stat that like gets the boost. So if you don't have high endurance, you're not getting the full value out of them. It has -5% evasion, and also it's a pull and push resistance. And I don't feel like that necessarily is what you need to like fight against. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if that's the best. And side note on this, for maximum use of this one, you have to have a matching helmet that maximizes the value out of it. So I mean, there's a lot of negatives in my mind.
All right. But the helm thing, just look at it in a vacuum. Just look at the status effects in a vacuum. Forget the helmet part.
Oh, and decrease speed by 5%. Sorry, I forgot to add that.
Wowee, were you gonna chime in with something?
Well, whatever. All I was gonna say was like they're handing out equipment, not handing out. Obviously, you're earning equipment that ultimately makes boar hunts way easier. Like,
sure.
This makes if you've got 3 teams that you're doing, just plop this on your knight in the front. You don't even need a knight in the front. You could just have something. You can have your warrior in the front, but I mean it gets him beefier to the point where you can take less damage. You can just build him straight DPS, and it helps you not get pushed and pulled and get all rearranged and have your important stuff exposed. So I think that's the idea here. Is like, we don't want you guys to keep struggling with boar hunts if you're already farming the Bach hunt. So we're going to make it a little easier to do both at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Right.
What I was thinking, so as we were kind of going through the requirements here and the different aspects of it, I was trying to think like, how do you maximize this as far as what hero you're putting it on? I think the knight makes the most sense, but this gain 50 initiative after each successful block is making me think a really high dex warrior could be a lot of fun.
Does dex affect block?
But block is dex and luck.
Oh.
So I think there's a scenario where you can make this like really cool on a warrior.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know.
I still think I don't know. And it's still awesome. It's still better than no armor. You know what I mean? But I think in general, I'd want, if I was going to get a random handout or a random like hit on these, I would want the light or the medium, because I like those better.
Here's the medium, just so we go through them all. Increased bleed resistance. Also, to Wowie's point, very good for the boars. 4% retaliate. Retaliate.
That's a default. That's a default passive, though. Like, I love that.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like, retaliate in general, like having that as a passive. That's most retaliate moves are like retaliate for the next 5 turns or whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
This one is just a default all the time. Like, and no minus on speed, no minus on evasion for the medium. I mean, not that they're going to be high evasion. Well, I know Wowee likes to build the evasion tanks, but like that -5 evasion on the heavy armor, I need to see that justified with some wild bonuses, in my opinion.
Say that again.
So, like, if heavy armor in general,
the -5 evasion, you have to see heavy bonuses to. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah, sorry. Processing slower than I want to. No, it's so tough when they're the first. Like they're setting the stage.
I know. Right? I shouldn't be complaining. I mean, it's still very cool. Any armor
stage. I think it's more of a preference thing. Like you might be the type of player that runs all light armor. I don't know that it's fair to be comparing light to medium to
that's a good point. That's
heavy like that. We should be comparing them within their own set or within their own like class, and we don't have the stuff needed for that yet. What else?
To add.
Yeah.
Hit me.
So
Wowee, don't say that. Just say what you're going to say.
Yeah, just scream.
Like,
you know how
interrupt us. Interrupt us all you want.
You gotta just
have to preface it. Just say,
apologies.
I'm talking now. It's me, Wowee. I'm talking.
All right, Wowee's talking now.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right, so my point on making it feel better, right? How about, all right, so we've got our clothies, we got our medium armor users, we've got our heavy armor users. I mean, we can categorize them real quickly with, wizard, priest, archer, thief, right, for medium armor, and then for heavy armor, we're looking at our knights and warriors. Now, would it make more or less sense for them to exceed a strength threshold, like what they're talking about, to not receive negative benefits?
Ooh,
I can still equip it, but then I get the debuff heavy.
I like
because
that.
I don't have enough strength to like get all of the benefit from it. So while I'm heavy, I have a decrease in speed and in evasiveness, but I still get the benefit of having the nice armor.
And I like that. And also, too, this is something they sort of did that with accuracy. They've done that with accuracy on the weapons of like, if you're at this level, it's 100%. If you're ahead of it, it's a plus. And if you're below it, it's a negative. So it's kind of the same sort of, mentality on that of like, if you're at the strength level required, it's a 0. If you're ahead of it, it's a plus. If you're below it, it's a negative. I really like that.
Yeah. Can't you kind of do that yourself with the stats though? As far as like negating, like if I want at 5% evasion to not. No, I'm talking now, Maddie. Nah. No, if you want that 5% evasion to not affect you, have a hero that's much higher evasion. So
no, that's a very good point. But I really like the idea of the armor itself being dynamic based on your stats. And that's what you're referring to, right? Like,
yeah, even something along the lines of like, okay, you can have the push resistance because the armor is what it is, and that's just the base level. But if you've got enough strength and you meet the threshold, you get the second bonus, which is the pull resistance as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that would make more sense to like take away more negatives and give more positives if you're more attuned to that kind of armor.
I like it.
Rather than, okay.
So it's like, why would you ever put...
Here's a negative.
Why would you put a wizard in heavy armor? Like, that would never make sense, like kind of thing. And that just benefits that theory more,
Right.
All right. That was a tangent. We got to move on. I do, touch on shield. Shield is very cool. It's the first time we've seen a shield. It's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that, like, the shield's a must-have. I would pay 9,000 crystal for it. I think everyone should just go purchase one of these right now.
Don't be disingenuous. Come on. Don't do that.
No, for anyone that wasn't watching, I just delisted mine and relisted it to the floor. Please.
You're telling people to buy your shield is what you're doing right now.
Is this one Bob's?
It doesn't say the owner. I've noticed it didn't say the owner.
When you click buy, it does.
Oh, it does. All right. So it is. Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, we'll see if...
the other one, it has better stats. Is that what he said? He just said the other one has better stats.
It's debatable. Son of a bitch. I knew he was going to list it lower. And
did he just relist it lower?
Yes. It's debatable as far as which of these two has better stats. We really can't. Even Wowee wouldn't be able to really determine it, I think. They're like even. Just consider them even. No, his has better stats.
Oh, all right.
But no, it's so it gives you a little riposte, block chance.
Yeah, the shields are great.
I mean, you put this together with that heavy armor, and now you're talking about increased block chance and gaining initiative back with that block chance.
That's huge.
The combinations, once we get more variety with these kind of buffs.
I know that Sergeant loves his soundboard of me talking, so I was gonna say I'm so excited about it, but I don't want to give him more soundboard stuff. All right.
One of the greatest quotes in crypto history is laser beam, NFTs make money. Yeah. And I have not ever, that lives rent free in my head at all times.
It does make me laugh every single time.
All right. That's all the equipment. What other equipment was there?
Congrats to Jeremy. Bogside wants a cut of that, actually. And so does Wowee.
Yeah.
Somebody heard us talking about how good light armor is. And they went and sniped yours.
Exactly.
No,
we probably
on the sale.
All right. Well, we're going long. Worm, is Worm going tonight?
My bad.
No, he's not. He said he's not.
Oh, he's not. All right, then we're gonna go long tonight. Everybody's buckle up.
When Wowie's on the stream, I feel like our average is like 2 hours. So.
Bring your own potion. I want to talk about potions and bring your own potion. And also, everyone, stay tuned. Wowee has a fun announcement at the end of the episode, so everyone has to stay tuned for that.
The longer the episode goes, never mind. It's fine.
No, West Coast people are just tuning in now.
Sure. I don't even think Sticks Intern's on yet.
No, he said he's like working because
he's not a real Bogside
exactly. Yeah,
fan, no. He doesn't really care.
There's literally 26 people watching. Why would you call one of them out like that? Anyways, bring your own potion. It's live. It's exciting. It's fun. I have my opinions about the swiftness potion, and we could talk about that first. But in general, what are your guys' thoughts on potions? What are you doing for your various builds? I'm excited about it. Although I will say the regular boar hunt one, the budget is the same. Like you can max only use 3 potions because those basic ones cost 3, and you have a budget of 11. So like at most you could use 3 health or 3 magic, and you would never need to use any of the other ones. So I found that a very interesting choice of like what they made the budget for that one. But how are you guys liking it? I mean, I'll just say this right up off the bat. Like I love it. I think it's super fun that you have that. Like also, I'm pulling this off the screen. If this is going to be
no, Bob,
if it's going to be a problem, if this is going to be a problem, if anyone saw the 2 of them were just lowering the price back and forth.
Well, I
Let him
relisted
keep
mine.
I want to get.
I mean, how low could it go?
I relisted mine and noticed there was still only one on the market. So I'm like, he was already delisting his. Watching me. All right. Anyway, we're good on that.
Bring your own potion. What are your guys' thoughts? Wowee, I want to start with you because I think Franz needs a minute to collect himself. Bring your own potion. General thoughts on it. I mean, I love it. I'll just say that. I don't know.
I'm a huge fan, but to be completely honest, it devalues the importance of bringing a priest. Because what you're doing with Bring Your Own Potion is you are not only bringing your own HP battery, which is what a priest is supposed to do. It turns MP into HP.
Yeah.
But you're bringing an HP battery, you're bringing an MP battery, which is even more important, and you're bringing a situational cleanse, right? With your blind resist potions and the such. But you're also bringing a swiftness potion, which, I mean, if you think about it, that's like 80% of the priest's kit.
Well,
and you can bring it in the form of a potion, right? So there's no reason for you to not go as hard into the paint DPS as you possibly can, because your frontline, beef supreme can turn into a pseudo support at any minute. It can heal itself better than a priest could, probably not as often or over the long term. But I mean, either of your DPS can turn into a pseudo support. Like everyone has the ability to do a small piece of the priest's job while absolutely unloading in this fight. So I love it. I love the strategy it brings. I love the fact that, you're only allowed to bring so much as options, and then you get to pick and choose what you use during that fight. But like I said, I believe that the BYOP devalues the significance of a priest, especially following the 20% overall nerf to all healing from the priest.
So, okay, well, sorry. I have like 8 different things I want to respond with.
Do you need a minute now?
Yeah, I need a minute because the swiftness potion, I feel like the price of it,
it's trash.
Yeah, the price of it. When I say price, I mean the weight of it in a battle. It ruins your entire battle inventory. Ruins is a strong word, but like I don't understand why you're saying the swiftness potion can do things that the priest can't do, and I disagree with that. I don't know. Maybe I misheard that.
I meant
I disagree with that. Sorry,
you get to bring pieces of the priest's kit with you.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So rather than going for swiftness in the priest abilities, you can bring a potion if that's what you want to use.
But all right. And then also I think the full heal is obviously going to heal better than a priest can, but those little baby heals are not going to the turn by turn value that you get with a priest doing a heal versus the using a potion. I still think the priest is going to be better
in the long run. Yes, you're completely right. The priest can heal way more over a long fight than a potion could. However, I mean, look at the lesser healing potion, right? It's a 35% heal. If I've got a level 15
Right. If you got a big beefy
monster of a knight, that potion heals for 350 on my 1000 HP knight. I don't have a priest in my repertoire that can just casually heal that much.
I happen to have one actually, but
all right. Bragging about your heroes.
He's level 13 and he has 62 wisdom, and his basic heal is 314.
We don't hero brag on this podcast.
I understand. Oh, please, please, we don't hero brag. But like, and also not only that, you're right. It can't hit the numbers. The 35% can hit, but good priests with high wisdom, even like 35 to 40 wisdom, they're not going to be as good as 35%. You're right, but they can be close. So I think I just want to push back. Wow, I want to push back a little bit because I think with the right
I've got a rebuttal.
All right, let's hear it. With the right priests, I think priests are still going to outpace the potions. I understand what you're saying, and there is a lot of validity to it, but like I wouldn't dismiss all priests like that. Not all priests, right?
So I would rebut with what is priority, right? What's the priority of the team you're building right now? And what's the priority of percentage chance to win with what you're bringing? If your priority right now is stability, which I mean, our consistency kings loves, we love our holy trinity. We love a nice stable fight. We don't like getting blinded. We don't like getting feared. We don't like any disruption to the natural order of things. If you are building,
the two of us are never going to
finish this point.
We could never play poker because he reads me too well. He reads me like a book every time. He knows that's exactly what I'm thinking.
I know. I mean, it's so true though, because there's not really a duality here. It's just it's a framework of priority. And in this fight, is consistency more important, or is the speed of DPS more important? Because if you can hit your hits, why would you want to waste so many turns on a whole character to just keep the turn number as huge as possible when you can go in and burn and then use only one of those for a big heal, right? Do I need to be at max health the whole time forever? No, I really just don't need to be confused, and I don't need to be blinded. Maybe.
Well, so a little devil's advocate here, because I do agree with you. Some of us do have to be at full health all the time because we have a bit of OCD. But also, what the priest is doing in this situation is saving you the resources of these potions.
That I would completely agree with.
I don't care because they're super cheap.
Do you mean economically or like in-game?
Economically, and in game, to the point where if things go wrong, you may need the potions. But the goal, right? When we get to the point where we know we're gonna beat the birds on, say, a 75% clip, because we're all gonna get there eventually. Mm-hmm. We're gonna figure this out and master it. At that point, it's about using as few resources as possible.
Well, and this is a separate topic that potentially is a whole nother 5-hour Wowee stream of are we thinking about the economics and the cost while we're mid-game? And friends, you talked about this like 2 weeks ago when we were talking about this, of like the reason they decreased the price of the potions potentially is that they don't really want us to be worried about that. But like it is an interesting idea of like you're in the middle of the battle and it's like, do I want to spend $1 right now? I mean, I know the potions are not near that, but like hypothetically, let's play it out. Where potions are $1, do I want to pay $1 right now to win this battle? It's a really interesting idea, and it's super fun because it's something that like gaming has not been seen in any gaming anywhere.
I have an addition to that, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts.
Don't say that I haven't. Go. Let's hear it.
I'm just structuring. What are your guys' thoughts on LP for potions?
I mean, Franz could talk about this a whole episode,
which I want him to. Yes, please go.
No, I'll go.
Very bullish. Very bullish is the quick answer.
This is a little humble brag.
Yeah.
Of course, it's gonna like take forever to load now because I'm trying to make dramatic effect here.
That loading screen's going.
God damn it!
You were saying something.
Here we go. We got. Oh, this went down. I was 70% of this. Okay.
Whoa.
Somebody else has been putting in, and this one's of course not loading. But yeah, no, I'm stocked. I don't know why that's not showing up. I've been doing the LP. Is what I could have just said and saved this all about 3 minutes there.
So how lucrative has it been in your opinion? I mean, just in a short
I would
time.
have to check. I have it in a spreadsheet. I'll update and I'll let you know.
Sweet.
I'll like tweet it out. As far
Yeah,
as
this is what I've been most curious about since BYOP was even announced. Was what's the validity of potions versus the ingredients in an LP?
I gotta tell you, I feel like I don't know how much buying of potions is going on. They're very cheap. It's
they're cheap to make too right now.
well,
right,
no,
but
no,
in a
no,
year,
that's what I meant. That's what I meant. They're very cheap
sorry.
to make.
So no one's just going to the market and buying 100 health potions.
I think that and this is kind of a bigger discussion, but I think that as the player base grows, we're gonna get more players that just have their Esper is a great example. Esper has filthy heroes. If you saw the tweet he put out, they're all fully kitted. Yeah. It's great.
Insane.
But he only has like 20 total heroes. I think we're gonna see more of that as the kind of player base expands. Right now, most of the players have enough heroes to be kitting their own teams with these potions. I don't know.
No, I think it's very fair, and I do want to kind of rein this back a little bit, because I do think that the LP discussion is interesting. I think we need more time for BYOP to like really flesh out to see, because right now I think everyone still has stock from the 4X, the exchange that they did. Everyone who's playing still has potions. So like we haven't hit
an absolute fact. I've got over 100K of like every ingredient.
Well, the ingredients, sure, but like I'm just saying, like no one's even going for potions, I think, for a while.
I stopped selling everything. I turned all my shout out DFK helper auto sell. Yeah, I turned it all off when the release happened.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I can make: 1,471 health and 300. Okay, why only 300 of those?
Gold?
No, it's so
tiers.
Blue Stem.
Oh,
no, it's not tiers. Blue Stem is a gardening item. Blue Stem suddenly bullish Blue Stem.
Interesting.
I mean, I have more gardeners on Cereal, but gardening items just don't accumulate as fast. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting because health vials don't have any gardening. Yeah. So that could go the way of milkweed,
Right.
Milkweed's a little more expensive because the stamp.
All right. I kind of want to bring this back a little bit because the LP discussion, I don't think we can answer it properly. I think we need more time. Which I know is kind of a cop out, but like I do think we need more time for BYOP to like really answer that question. I want to go back to when you're in battle, are you thinking about financial economic decisions? Like are you deciding like I'm going to bail on this one, I'm going to retry, I'm not going to use these potions. I want to use these potions because they do cost actual money. Granted, right now it's very low. I understand that, but like, is that something that's crossing your mind when you make a decision of like, should I heal my hero?
No. And I'll tell you exactly why. Each one of these hunts is a 50-cent scratch-off ticket.
Right.
Like if I use every single potion afforded to me, plus wow, you guys did a synchronized sip. That was awesome. Plus
we practiced that actually.
That was incredible.
We practiced that for many years. Don't worry.
We're drinking the same beer too.
Oh my god. Where was I? If you guys are paying the entrance fee and you're taking every single potion you possibly can, right, for your full battle budget, I mean, at most you're looking at a 50-cent dump, and you're looking at a 2% chance of being able to sell something for $15 plus.
Yeah.
And to add to that, I fully agree. And even just to take it into more of a gamer kind of context, like forget the Web3 aspect. Once we have these scrub battles, as they started calling them,
right,
and just regular dungeons and stuff, maybe. But like, have you ever gone into a boss battle and been like, oh, I don't want to use that extra health potion? Like these are boss battles.
Well, no, but like also, I don't. This has never been a thing in gaming ever,
but
where there's actually a financial impact. Like,
true.
Again, I 100% agree with you. I'm with both you guys on this, but like, I do think it's an interesting conversation. The idea, just in general, that like the things that you do are going to cost actual money, so there's an actual effect, and you have to think about that when you make the decisions. Like, I'm excited for that. I think that's a fun part of the game. And like, I want it to be that way, where it's like, I can win this battle if I take a potion, but it costs $2, and the rewards I might get have a range of $1 to $5. Is it worth it to spend $2 on that potion? Like that is something that I'm excited for, because I think that's a fun kind of concept.
But I guess my point with what I was saying was that in video games, there's always the idea of, okay, it took X amount of resources to craft this potion that I'm going to use, or I had to use X amount of gold. Yes, now we have the added kind of off ramp, right, where we can turn it into USD. But like, it still kind of has this.
Yeah, but I don't care about fucking
ecosystem.
The fake gold in Baldur's Gate. I don't care how much gold I have in Baldur's Gate. You know what I mean? Like,
well, right, but I'm saying, like, if you're producing enough to kind of like keep this as a closed ecosystem, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, the less you use, the more excess you could have to sell. But
right. But I think the
purpose going into it was, I am putting these resources in to be able to have this effect in the game later.
Right.
So you've already paid for it.
Yeah.
Right. Essentially.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, but I think that's also going to be a mentality that, like, you have to make a decision as how you play this game. You know what I mean? Like,
true. Maybe your battle budget is like, you're allowed to spend up to $5 in this,
this
fight.
Yeah. And like, yeah, exactly. Like, but those are some really cool decisions that, like, that's why this game is so unique. And I think that there's so much, fun.
Oh my God, it's an arcade game. You put 50 cents in crystal in, and then it's like, okay, do you want to press continue? You want to use that potion?
Do you want to use the level up right now? It costs 50 cents to level up. Like 100%.
Yeah, I have another point on.
Okay, great. I'm gonna walk away for a second.
On BYOP. It's a long stream. People need bathroom breaks. No, so Wowee, right now, are you doing the power up?
No, but that's because I'm a broke ass bitch, and allocating that jewel is a little bit pricey for me right now.
Yeah, so I
would love to. I think in the long run it's super worth it, but
see, I don't, and I kind of want to ask chat too. Is anyone doing the power up? And if so, I guess the way I'm looking at it, right? And I'm taking the conversation away from gaming and more towards like crypto at this point. To take 1,500 Jewel and to lock it up for, you assume 3 years. Most people are doing kind of the full lock so that they don't have to put more C or S Jewel. To take that amount and lock it up when we're at the start of potentially, hopefully, a very long bull market, so that you can ship away with it with 1 cent potions coming back to you each time. I don't know. I don't get it right now.
So I think the validity of it right now is low, but if you think far ahead into the future, where our like ideal game has come out, and our ideal community and player base is where it's reached a stable position of so many thousands of users, and the economy is revolving how it's supposed to, and Jewel is extremely cheap right now, and if it gets to that point, Jewel probably won't be as cheap then. I think what it is right now is an investment for, like, say it takes 3 years for the game to like be fully actualized, right? Well, in 3 years time, that 1,500 jewel is going to be redeemable by me in full. My investment will have paid off, right? And I'll still have access to that power up. So right now you're buying the cheap end of it and able to take it out in the future. But I mean, even if Jewel goes up to like $1 right now, you could still take all of it out, get the pre-penalty, still make a profit, still have your power up, and you'd be better off in the long run. Because, like, yeah, they're 1 cent potions now, but I mean, if Jewel hits $10, right, they're going to be 50 cents. They're going to be 60 cents, 75 cents a potion, and that'll be worth it way, way, way in the long run.
That makes sense. I'll be honest, I'm still not on board, but that's the first argument for that. I'm like, okay, that's valid. That has some legs. The way I'm looking at it, like, so I guess I see a scenario in my head, a very bullish scenario, where in 3 to 4 months we see a lot of Jewel getting burned because people are taking out half because Jewel is at $3, $4, $27, and people want to cash it out. So I don't know. I'm being very hesitant with what I'm locking up right now, so that I could dump on all of our fans here and all our chat. Thanks,
Nice.
guys. Yeah.
That's right. You're all exit liquidity to me.
The Bogside way. That's why we started this podcast, was for exit liquid. No, I'm kidding. We'll cut that.
We haven't done that so far, so
and it's worked out horribly.
Yeah.
I am so
we
poor.
all lost money, so don't worry about it. All right, yeah, I don't know if I'm signing up for that. I'm assuming you're talking about the power up, like the yeah. I don't know if I'm doing it just yet. I'm not as negative as I know your negative opinions on it. You told me before, but I'm hesitant to do it. I don't know. I'll need to see other. I think SI did it, and I would like to see like the success rate. I mean, obviously it's 50% ish because that's like what the the RNG is, but I don't know. I'm hesitant to do it myself. I don't know. Wowee, have you looked at it at all?
Oh yeah. Well, like I was saying with the power up, I think the only mentality you can have for it right now is number one, convenience. Do I want to go make potion after potion after potion if I can get a refund on 30% of potions used, especially if I don't use that many? I mean, it would just save me clicks, but the only real mentality to have beyond convenience for it is I am bullish on Jewel, and I think it's going to be cheap to get that power up right now, and it won't be later.
Right? No,
totally. I mean, it's directly proportionate to how much you're just willing to invest at.
I just think too. I think it's tough because, like, especially boar hunts, like the classic boar hunts, I'm not using that many potions. I am using potions. I'm not saying I'm not using potions, but like I'm using 1 or 2 at most. I'm using 2 in those because I pretty much know how to win those ones pretty easily. I don't know if it's worth it necessarily. Obviously, more void hunts down the road, more options. Maybe that makes it more worthwhile.
Yeah, I think so. The more, like, obviously, the more you use it, like the more you're using potions, the better that power up is. And it's just like okay, at what point does Jewel climb to for me to get my money's worth from it, right? So I mean, how much is 1,500 Jewel right now?
Are you asking us to do math? Come on.
It's
like, we don't do math here.
What's the conversion right now?
$1.50.
All right, so say my say $150 goes into my Jewel right now to get this power up. How many potions do I have to use today for it to equal my money back to be profitable, right? But even then, like, I'm not losing that. I'm losing half of its utility if I don't take it out. If I take it out earlier than 3 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, if, like, say I predict that Jewel, this is not financial advice. Never. I am not a lawyer. I am a spokesperson.
Why would you say that? Why would you even say that? That's ridiculous.
If I predict Jewel to go,
I'm also not a lawyer. Just throwing that out there. Go on, why?
Like, that's bullshit. Don't even.
Well, yeah. So if like I predict that Jewel's going to be at $5 by the end of the year because the Metis fam are going to be like promoting the shit out of like scrim battles and their PvP stuff, and that somehow onboards 5,000 people, then I'm going to go, okay, so how much was this $450 investment worth now? It's gone up more than 15 times. I've definitely made my money back, period. And each of these potions, instead of it being 1 cent, it's now 75 cents per potion. It's a lot easier to make that initial investment back just in using potions now. So I mean, it's all about how do you feel about the future of Jewel? Is like really the only mentality you could possibly have beyond convenience for this power up.
Yeah,
I'm convinced.
So there is something coming that I would lock up Jewel for. Sometime in 2025, I believe Expeditions will be out, and that is something that I will lock up Jewel for big time.
Wow.
So,
all right.
Yeah,
we're moving on to our last. That was ridiculous. I'm editing that out. I'm gonna edit that out.
that's fine.
Live edits, here we come.
The final topic I want to discuss. Very exciting. At ETH Denver this past weekend, the team announced with. Do you have the tweet? Because I have the tweet up, so maybe I'll.
They announced Pirate, right?
They announced Pirate. Actually, wait, did I say this before? I think because the Gore axe. I'm
all right.
confident. I'm confident. I'm confident Berserker is the next class. It's not Pirate. I'm ditching my initial theory that it was Pirate. I'm actually saying it's Berserker now.
Because of the two-handed Gorax?
Yes, correct.
Not because of the little chicken wing wong?
No, not the chick. No, I don't care. It's gonna be Berserker. I'm calling it now.
Okay.
Now I think it's gonna be Pirate.
God damn it. Sure.
I think Dread Knight.
Oh my god, if it's Dread,
I confirmed.
It'd be wild. Yeah.
Mosh and B paid off the team
no.
to do Dread next.
Where's my? What the heck? I had this up. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. The team announced, or actually, I should say, the team didn't announce it. The Metis team, Metis team announced it. DefiKingdoms is going to be adding another chain. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase that, but they're going to have a PvP Coliseum on a new blockchain called Metis that is going to be the Coliseum. So it's going to be exclusively PvP battles. It's not going to be a new realm. It's not going to be like travel or lands or anything like that. It's just exclusively going to be this Coliseum situation where we'll be able to do 3v3 battles with our heroes. It's going to be a separate chain. It's going to be kind of like a one-off thing where we're doing these battles on this separate blockchain. This is super exciting with an asterisk on it, but because I think it is streamlined, it is straightforward, it is like all this stuff that like we sort of like, I thought land, travel, new realms, whatever. I thought that was all necessary to get to PvP. And that's why I kind of think PvP is like very, very far away. But now with this, it seems like it's much more streamlined. It's going to be much more simple. The only thing Metis is doing is this Coliseum. There is no other, land, profession quests, new realm. None of that is happening. It is just the Coliseum. It is just PvP. And I think it's very exciting. And I am going to say this right now on the pod and mark it. Everybody, mark your whatever. I think this means PvP within the year. By year end 2024, I think we're going to have a version of PvP based on this announcement.
Is that bearish? Do you think that's being perceived by Chad as bearish right now?
No, I think that'd be positive. Did you think prior there would be PvP? Like prior announcement.
Stop for 1 second. Chad, give us your predictions. When do you think we see it? Because I'm kind of in line with Maddie. Again, not to throw shade, this is a big thing. They do have a bit of a history of making big announcements at conferences, and then they take a while, right? When do we think PvP is coming? And regardless of that, I want to be clear. I don't want to sound bearish. This is big news.
Yes.
This is awesome. I can't wait. Wowee?
We got some chat. Obviously, KP says bullish, which could mean anything.
I mean, I think that's what we need right there. That's from the team, bullish.
The three dots makes me think he knows something.
Ooh,
yeah,
ooh,
he knows something.
Well, KP, as my statement of PvP by the end of the year, am I going to be made a fool or not, KP? Anyways.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Oh boy, Ben.
Let's talk more about PvP as
very funny. All right, so they announced with this, there's a 3-stage rollout is what they're going to be doing. Number one is going to be kind of custom game, user-based private battles that we could do 3v3. That's going to be the first thing. The second thing they're going to release is a tournament that's going to be like a team-sponsored tournament where you can kind of sign up and they will run the tournaments. And then finally, the third stage is user-based tournaments, which is super fun. I really like that idea. I was laughing at that earlier, yeah. But
Ben Force has a great comment.
I also think they also said, and when they were talking about this, it is very early. They're just like, it's a partnership. They're going to be working out the details later. I think this is very exciting. I also want to say a couple things. I've looked up a couple things about Metis. Metis has connections. First off, it's a Ethereum virtual machine, which is wild. We've never seen DFK on an EVM ever.
What?
So very interesting there. What?
No, EVM is what DFK's on. DFK chains EVM. EVM just means using MetaMask, essentially.
I thought
very down. It's the first time that it would be on a layer 2.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Yeah.
The wrong thing. It's the first time it's going to be on a layer 2. It's a roll up, right? Like it's the same thing as immutable, right?
As far as how they roll up, or it's like a ZK swap or something, that I don't know. But yeah, it's an ETH layer 2.
So yeah.
And are you gonna say about Vitalik next?
No, I actually didn't know that.
So yeah, Vitalik's mom's blockchain.
I need a more understanding of, like, what do you mean?
The fact that his mom has a blockchain.
Yeah, does she code as well?
I mean, she has a blockchain, Maddie. I think she does a little coding. No, but it's I would say that's about as stable as you can get. Nepotism's big in 2024. This is like kind of reverse nepotism. I don't think her blockchain is going anywhere.
No.
This is I think it's big news.
Yeah. I would agree. Did that zoom in? I hope that zoomed in for you guys as well. I think it's super exciting. The big takeaway for me, I don't know how to say takeaway would be, I think this is a streamlined version of PvP. So like they can kind of throw away all that other kind of bullshit, and like we can get this like sooner. We're going to get this sooner than I think we thought is a big takeaway. I don't know. I also too, I do want to say it was an announcement of a partnership. Like, I'm excited about it, but like, I'm not going to like be crazy. I'm not running, through the hallways of my apartment building screaming, PvP is here. Yet. I will be doing that soon, but like not right now.
No, it is big though. It's the fact that they came out and announced it. It's something that you would think that with this partnership that they got some of money, that this is something that is helping advance the whole of the DFK ecosystem. It's not something where we're building useless stuff, right? We're not going with the third realm. We're not adding another DEX and more profession quests, things that take time and don't really advance the gameplay. This is just bare bones, just PvP. We're not going crazy. We're giving the people what they want. I think it's a really big deal. Wow.
No, I think that's why I'm excited.
What was that?
Paying attention clearly. I said you've been quiet. Give us some thoughts. We're getting late in the day here.
No, I mean I'm really excited about this because I'm sure the team was sitting there going like, how can we appease the most people in the simplest way possible? What have they been crying out for the longest time? It's win game. When can I play a game? Where the game at though? And they're going to give us an opportunity to actually play the game. And I'm sure, like to your point, like I'm sure that the Metis team is going to be working on certain infrastructure so that PvP is going to be more accessible across separate chains and more easy to deploy, right? So I think they're going to be taking a brunt of this. off of DFK's plate for them to actually develop more content for the game rather than just the implementation of PvP. So I think this is a huge boon to the entire ecosystem for us.
No, I agree. And that's what I was saying. Like, this is the key thing to this announcement is like the streamlined, like exclusive way they're talking about it of like, it's a Coliseum, you battle, that is it. We're not trying to do anything else. It's just a Coliseum where you battle 3v3. I think maybe it's a precursor to a further relationship with, with a realm and lands and stuff like that. Like, who knows? But I like that they were very specific when they announced it. It is exclusively just a Coliseum where we will do battle.
Yeah.
It seems exciting.
Yeah.
I just want to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. And Raph makes a good point here. Phase 1, good enough for us. The Phase 2 with tournaments, great. Automated tournaments, sure, make it easy. There'll be a tournament the first weekend.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
It's...
I mean, look at what SI did. Yeah, we'll be able to come up with community events just based on private matches easily. Yeah.
Give us private matches. Let us challenge some Mythic Squatters. Really get the party started. I want to see Maddie versus Wowee game 1. Just duking it out.
I will. We should message Bolon and say, like, I would gladly be the guinea pigs if they wanted to do that.
The Maddie v Wowee. It's gonna be Maddie with the Holy Trinity, and he's gonna be super ready. He's gonna have all of his nice, neat, organized stuff. And I've got 3 knights.
Yeah. You do something fucking bizarre, like confuse everybody immediately, like for some reason.
Wowee did make a very high luck archer the other day, so
that guy was wild.
He had some tricks up his sleeve.
High luck archer is actually a wild build. That's a discussion for another stream. All right, this was super exciting. I think. Final thing I want to comment on, and this is. Put your tinfoil hats on at this point.
Oh, I'm so ready.
The hat stays on.
Because I want to discuss something. So this was the tweet that was posted by the Metis account. And apparently, I got some inside information. The DefiKingdoms team, they sent to the Metis team some animations, some video of like the heroes in general. I believe this video was made by the DefiKingdoms team, and the other one with like there was another video with like the Legionnaires and stuff like that. Anyways, the point is,
let's get to it.
This animation specifically has our three of the heroes that we currently have codexed, and then 3 heroes who are not codexed. Specifically, the Berserker, the Seer, and the Pirate, the 3 that we've been debating the most about which is going to be the next to be released. Now, in this video, it's everybody's basic attack, for the exception of the Pirate. The Pirate moves his sword in and grabs a fucking gun out of his pocket, which is not his basic attack. His basic attack is with the sword in general.
How do you know that?
Because I've seen it in like Blub basics. Okay. Like he just swings his sword. That's his basic
This
attack.
is some spicy heat you got going on right here.
He does not grab a gun. He does not grab a gun for his basic attack. And we haven't seen any of his codex, obviously. So like the fact that this video was produced that has him grabbing a gun, to me means he might be the next hero that's released. Because why would they have that animation? Why would they have that animation if it's not? Because if you remember, the Pirate has an entire class called Blunderbuster. He does a ton of like Blunderbuster shooting moves that have various ranges, and he shoots a gun. That's like one of his tracks is that move. So it makes sense that they would make an animation where he pulls out a gun and shoots it.
Yeah, I'm on team the devs are definitely like, all right, let's put in a ranged animation just to mess with me.
No, they literally do that. They do that. They say that's why I want those. I want the recordings of their meetings where they're like, let's fuck with Maddie. They all sit around and talk about it. I know they do.
I asked Bolon once, and I was like, do we ever come up in like your like board chats? And they're like, literally every single time we ever talk to each other, it's about what could we do to mess with Maddie.
You're fucking with me now. I know you're. But and honestly, it's probably nothing. Maybe I'm overanalyzing it, but the animation for the pirate is different than his normal basic attack.
See, even KP saying it.
I know. He's in on those meetings. He knows. But also, all right, separate from my conspiracy theory, I do find it interesting they use those 3 classes.
Yeah, it's either these are the 3 classes or they are fucking with not just you, Maddie, but with all of us as a community, because these are the 3 that we've all been discussing.
Right.
But at a certain point, enough fucking around.
I know.
The classes are coming.
Yeah, they're coming. I know they're coming. I think it's fun.
I kind of have a feeling that we're going to see some acceleration when it comes to the classes getting out, and this Metis thing kind of like they need not every class out, but they need a bunch more out. We're going to need pet combat bonuses, and I think Hubert said in the AMA that pet combat bonuses would be coming first. I'm assuming they're going to want the traits out ahead of that, so like they got to start churning some stuff, you know.
But here's the thing. I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I think they've laid the tracks, they've laid the basics, they've laid the foundations. We see the rock box doing resurrection. I mean, this is my. I don't want to. I stop. I can't make claims. I can't make claims like this on the podcast. I'm going to get in trouble. But I think this summer, by the summertime, we're going to start seeing stuff released. Like it's going to start like just rolling very fast. I think
this summer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good voice for it.
Yeah. All right. We're going to start wrapping up. We've been teasing it. We've been teasing it the whole episode.
Oh, I forgot about this.
We are very excited on Bogside. We are privileged to announce. And actually, well, I don't think
it's not our thing. Don't talk about Bogside. It's not our thing.
Well, no. I specifically want to say, like, I'm very glad. I don't think he meant to plan it this way, but like, we get to announce this prior to Mythic Squad, and I'm very proud of that. So I hope Starbuck is listening, and I want to say, like, we're proud to announce this right now.
I did not intend any of this.
We on Bogside are very proud to announce, and I'm not going to say anything, Wowee. I'll let you say it, but Wowee has a big announcement, and I'm going to steal the stage because I'm going to put up the.
Maddie, if you're going to let him say it, stop talking. Oh my God, we're going to start having a beer limit on this podcast.
It's perfect. All right, go ahead and bring it up.
Yep, I will bring it up now.
All right, everybody. This Saturday, March 9th, I will be co-hosting with Maddie Pesk, our beloved here, from 12 p.m. noon to 12 a.m. midnight Eastern Standard Time, the Wowee Super Spec Sheet re-ranking talk show and epic stream trademark marathon giveaway extravaganza.
The trademark was in the middle of
Yes, because the trademark was for epic stream.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I trademark that portion.
Yeah.
But yes, it's gonna be the longest stream we've done. It's
12 hours. 12 hours.
12 whole dang hours. We're gonna go from noon to midnight. We're gonna have a ton of people on, right? We're gonna have some of your favorite content creators. France himself has signed up for every single slot.
And was rejected for every single slot.
But I mean, we've got appearances we got Sticks Intern on here. We've got Workhorse. Some of the dev team will be showing up. We got Christian Peter to kick us off. We've got so many people. Sir Worm's going to be there as well. And there is going to be so many giveaways. It's not even funny.
It's a giveaway per hour, right? That's our goal.
Minimum. A giveaway per hour minimum. That is the goal. We're going to hit that goal. We're going to exceed the goal. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a ton of fun. And you guys got to come down and join it. Like I said, it's going to be from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Where can people watch it, Wowee?
It's going to be simulcast to both Twitch and YouTube.
Excellent.
Whoa.
So you can find me twitch.com.
Are we getting any rights on the broadcasting since Maddie's co-hosting? Or
no.
TriCasts?
Ooh,
No?
TriCast.
Maddie,
Should we
who
put it on
negotiated?
Bogside stream? Can we
That's what
can
I'm
we do
saying.
that? Can
Let's
we,
farm some
Is that-
engagement off Wowee.
no, I don't want to take people
That's
away.
what we did tonight. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, by the way.
Get that notification bell on so
Yeah.
you know when we go live.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find me at both twitch.com and youtube.com/0xwowee. I will be live on both. Come show up, win some stuff. I'm going to be going through my entire super spec sheet that was released last year. And I'm going to put in all of the new information, and I'm going to go through all of the original stuff and see if I've changed my mind on any of it since we've received new information. We've got to play around with everything. Well, not everything, but a lot of stuff to see how it fits in together. It's going to be a ton of fun. I cannot wait. And I'm going to be extremely caffeinated for it. And there's going to be a lot of, but wait, what about?
Okay. Couple questions. Are we gonna do the classes? Are we gonna redo the classes too?
I mean, I don't think there's a point in doing all of the classes, but definitely the ones that have come out with the new updated codex.
Very
For
fair.
sure.
I like that. Yeah. Wait,
Maybe
Fran,
we'll do pirate.
So, just while KP is here in the chat, I just want to throw this out there. KP, it would be really cool of the team if they released a class ahead of this stream.
oh my
so that
god,
we
it'd be
could get
amazing.
Wowee live, ranking all the new moves. I just saying, it
That would be wild.
be awesome.
It would be pretty friggin' sweet, and it would give me something else to do over that 12 hours.
Yeah, hold on.
Tell KP, tell Workhorse and Hubert I said when. They'll know what it means.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When?
They're shaking their fist, friends.
They'll know. Trust me, they'll know what it means.
I mean, I'm very excited. We hinted at it during our stream here, like, blind, confused, all these things. Like we had, you ranked those things, when you first read them, but now we've seen actual gameplay. Obviously, I think it's going to change, how you go about it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've already changed my opinion on, like, say, Toxic. I've changed my opinion on Toxic. I've changed my
getting a
opinion.
Wowee.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been searching the market looking for Toxic constantly.
I mean, I've changed my mind on quite a bit.
I've bought a lot of those heroes that have Toxic.
Toxic had a C. I'm looking at the super spec right now.
Yeah.
Leadership with the triple S. I feel like that's going down.
Okay.
We've had
Get
some
me started.
changes too, right? So like
Right.
leadership definitely got nerfed. We had what else got nerfed? There's a couple things that got nerfed.
Second Life nerfed.
Yeah,
Well, not yet, but come on.
and it will be. But yeah, no, I mean we've had a lot of stuff get changed around. I mean, I think the basic passives are going to be reevaluated extremely hard because they are way more value than I gave them credit for in the beginning, for sure.
I mean, like the daze block, the blind block. I mean, I don't know, man. Wow, it's going to be hard to rate these things because, like,
Foresight with an S. I feel like you almost need 2 ratings for the passives, because like if you have 2 of them, type of deal.
right? If it's doubled up, yeah,
Like double to, like, maybe Toxic's maybe an S, but double Toxic's a triple.
Wowee,
I
double
like that a lot,
Toxic is
actually.
Wowee in my mind.
Yeah, I think I even regarded in leadership and intimidation, where it's just like, I think intimidate I put as a double S, and it's like if you've got all 3, it's triple.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So March 9th, this Saturday, the goal is to go through the entire spec sheet and re-rank everything. We have a ton of people from the community who have signed up now, who are going to be on, who are going to help us discuss this stuff, maybe do some boar hunts while we're talking, or I shouldn't say boar hunts, some void hunts while we're talking. Basically, we're just going to do it. Like, we've done 5-hour streams before, but we're just going to push it and go 12 hours and just go nuts.
Yeah, we'll just do more than double what we normally do.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to see the last like 2 hours of that.
No, so all right. Also interesting. So we're East Coast, right? Wow, you're East Coast. Are you comfortable saying you're
Yeah.
East Coast? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Floridian, man. I'm Florida.
All right, there you go. Good. He said it. He's the Florida man. Yeah. We're East Coast, and we have I know our friends SI, Sergeant, Phil McNasty, KP is actually joining us at noon, which is hilarious. But I know a lot of our people are West Coast, and they're going to join us late night. So I'm very excited to see what kind of stage we're in at midnight after. Because I don't know if I said this, by the way. I'm doing the whole thing with him. I don't know if I said that.
No, don't worry. I got you in the beginning.
Yeah, all right. But we're going to do 12 hours. I'm very excited. I hope everybody tunes in. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
All right, I gotta go to bed.
All right.
It's time.
Wowee, final comments. Anything you want to say about the marathon stream?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be super fun. You're gonna win something probably if you show up.
We're doing random giveaways the entire time, so
the entire time it's just gonna be stuff given out like crazy. I will say I just posted the announcement on Twitter as well. Tag everybody. Let's get the whole crew in.
Yeah.
Are you getting on the AMA to talk about this?
Oh no, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll end up bowling.
We should reach out to Bolin, yeah.
I asked you live to apply some pressure.
It works really well.
Let's set that up.
All right. Well, this has been an episode of Bogside Chats. As always, friends, thank you for joining me. Wowee, our guest, thank you so much for being here. I hope everybody tunes in March 9th, this Saturday, for the marathon stream. If not for all 12 hours, at least for, some of the hours. Do you have something to say, friends?
No, I was
putting
my hand up to like goodbye.
Oh, okay. Wave. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week, next Tuesday. I lost the sign off. I don't know. What do I normally say? I think it's
goodbye, Bogside Chat.